Hello, good evening, and hello everybody. Welcome to Angry Welshman Productions. Tonight I am joined by Sam of Blastpoint Productions, and tonight we're going to be driving on the recently released Barry Island, or Barry route, which has been made for Train Sim by Ben Salter. Now, he's been posting videos of this route on various Facebook groups for the last few months, and I basically started completely vegging out because it's about time somebody finally made a South Wales route in the 60s or even the 50s or 40s, but steam era. That was important for me. It doesn't necessarily have to be steam era, as long as it's, you know, a bit older. So, without much further ado, we're also going to be driving the upcoming Steam Sound Supreme Caledonia Works 2800, and those of you in the Facebook group will have noticed, hang on, I'm just going to turn the volume down a little bit because I can't hear myself think. We're sitting next to the Loco. Let me just turn that down to volume 25. There we go. That's a little bit better on my end anyway. You've probably noticed I'm using number 2874. For those of you in the Facebook group, you've probably seen I've posted quite a lot of screenshots. This is because this engine, when it was withdrawn, it spent quite a number of years languishing in Barry scrapyard, and then it went to the Pontypool and Blenavon Railway. So I've got, I was a volunteer there for a while, so I got some memories of this Loco. Most notably of which, trying to drag the thing forward with a JCB on one end and a forklift truck on the other. So when the Loco had been sold and it was being shifted to go on a low loader, and the thing would not move, to put it in. Oh no, actually this one was alright. 2874 was alright. It was Bickmarsh Hall would not move. So it was the Barry 4 that were there on the railway. We tried to move them with these forklifts and JCBs and tractors, and even a World War II Scammell at one point. It was hilarious basically. So that's my connection with the Loco anyway. I didn't fall through the cab floor of this one, that's important to mention. Before we do, Sam, are you loaded into the scenario yet?
I'm in the scenario, I'm just deciding what to take and trying to plonk it down.
Oh, right, okay.
So, but I'm not in any rush, so if you want to go, I'll catch up.
Alright, well, I got to figure out how to get to the main line anyway. So, for those of you wondering as well, the download for this route is actually available below in the description of this live stream. I would 100% recommend that you go and download it, because for a free route, Ben has done an absolutely fantastic job of recreating a piece of history. A piece of history which I am about to butcher as well, I should mention. The scene that we're looking at right now is, of course, on the west side of Barry Docks. This would have eventually become the infamous Barry scrapyard. I did actually make a start on editing some of the track and filling in this lake and stuff, but I got really unhappy and I threw my laptop through the window because I just hate Train Sim's editor. So I've enlisted Jared to help me with some of the track work because I'm too impatient to do it myself. He's going to help me lay some of the track. I've sent him a load of track plans. So the plan is for Over the Hills, we're going to recreate Barry scrapyard. Hopefully as close as we can, or as reasonably accurate as we can. It's not good, obviously it's not going to be an exact copy of it. This route is actually set in the 40s, I believe, either the 40s or the 50s, because this lake was filled in the 1940s or 50s. So it's amazing to think, because I've learned the area quite well now, because I actually work pretty much every day in Barry at some point, and we'll see where I work later on in the live stream. The scene that we're looking at right now, there is actually an Asda here, and there is whole houses been built. Number 1 dock, which we're looking at right now, has completely changed. You can see all the coal hoists. So these coal hoists, basically the loaded wagons would be brought along these embankments, and the wagons literally lifted up and onto some chute thing, and then the coal tipped out into the ships there, straight into the hold. Unfortunately, Train Sim hasn't got very good or limited assets available, so Ben has kind of had to improvise with these metal things, whatever they are. They look like some form of metal containers, but I think he's done a really good job, actually, of getting the feel of Barry Docks as it was in its heyday. All these collier ships are sat there ready to be loaded with coal from what was actually the biggest port in the world at one point. Yes, I am a sailor, and I'm gonna completely veg out about Barry Docks now. So I think Ben has actually done an absolutely tremendous job of recreating Barry Docks. And I say that not only as a train simulator enthusiast, but as a pilot who is actually training to enter Barry as a ship's pilot. So you can see, here's one I did earlier. Managed to run it aground on the east breakwater. There's one I did earlier on this afternoon when I was setting up the scenario as well. She's broken her back and she's sinking. Alright, yeah, probably I'm going a little bit overboard. Sorry, that was actually worth it. It really was worth it. So here we have the Lady Windsor Lock. I'm just going to be totally vegging about all of this stuff. Sorry. This is Barry Pier Head Station. At one point, this is where the paddle steamers would go from. This is actually the site of my office now, where I work. And the RNLI building is there as well. So it has changed quite a bit from as it was back in the day. Barry Pier Head Station, pretty much as it was in Steam days. 4 tracks, and it's difficult to sort of, when I'm there every day, I can't really picture a railway station being there. It's changed so much over the years. There's the dry dock as well. One of the things which I'm going to show you later on is this little bit here. This is Barry Tunnel. By the way, that's still there. I believe there's actually a gun shooting club there. But then there's a little line that goes through a tunnel. I did not know that this was there. I have never seen this tunnel, and there was a track. Now, I thought Ben was actually, well, if you excuse the expression, but taking the piss with this track that goes out on the breakwater. I thought he was just added it because it's, for train sim, but it turns out that it is actually there. This track on the breakwater. I'm assuming that it was used, wagons of stones were brought out by rail so they could build this breakwater. But the track is still actually there today. I did not know that. Rhys Jones, who's actually another sailor, says he's had more successful entrances into Barry Harbour than me. Well, yeah, you might have taken a little yacht into Barry Harbour, but I've taken some pretty big things in there. Only one of which went wrong.
It's not about size.
It is about size. It's very much about size right now.
And there goes PG.
There we go.
Anyway.
We did say we weren't going to swear during this live stream, but it's gone out the window. So I'm going to have a quick look at Barry Island just before we go and get our 2800.
I want service. Where am I dumping locos?
Where are you dumping locos?
Yeah.
Well, you need one at the Barrytown engine shed. And you'll need one at the viaduct as well for your return trip, unless you plan on running round. And I don't know if there's enough points at that end.
Right. Where the heck is the viaduct? That's right
just
up top, right?
Yeah, just go all the way to the north of the route.
Right.
So, yeah, looking at Barry Island, you can see, I drive past this every day, and it is such a sorry sight that the whole station is still there. The whole Barry Island station is still there as it was. But it's just been loaded with wagons and used as storage, which is a real shame because this place could have been, well, like the Minehead of South Wales. I mean, you could have had a heritage railway running from Cardiff Central all the way to Barry Island. But hey, that's politics for you, so I'm going to leave politics behind. I've been told off for that before. So, returning to Barrytown, I love this route so much. It just gives me such South Wales vibes. Yes, I know I'm going to go on about this throughout the whole live stream. Sorry in advance.
I think you're entitled to this.
It's about time. I'm just so happy that somebody has made South Wales steam era route for me. Well, not for me in particular, but, it just makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's something I've always wanted in train sim. Imagine how you felt, Sam, when the Keighley and Wirth Valley Railway came out.
Massively disappointed.
Right, well, you've just shot my fox. Just a quick question before we set off. The lamp code for light engine is just one lamp in the
One
centre.
in the middle of the bottom, yeah, the one you've got on is correct.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to set off then. I'm going to go... No, I'm not. I'm going to set my road first.
I'm going to let you go first, and then I'm going to follow you after, just so I know where we're actually going.
I'm going to be completely honest. I am winging it. I genuinely don't know. I've only driven a little bit on this route, so I have yet to really figure out where I'm actually going.
Well, I'm taking the Jones goods, and I'm just going to...
Seriously?
Yeah.
You're taking the Jones goods?
Yeah. We're close enough to Scotland, right?
I suppose.
And to be honest, I just want to see how brilliant my decals look.
Well, this has been a bit of a disaster. There's no way to get those wagons without running all the way up to Cadoxton.
So, we've got a long light engine run to start.
Yep. Oh well.
I'm also doing it in the mist.
Oh. Way to kill your computer.
Well, my computer's... It's like a three-legged horse trying to run a race.
Yeah.
So, it really doesn't matter if you cut off one of its other legs, because it's still going to struggle anyway.
True. So, we're just leaving Barrytown engine shed. I don't know if that's still there. I think so. God, we got 91 people watching. I'm going to try and keep an eye on the chat. Apparently I'm a pirate.
Yarr, it be true.
Oh, Tom is in the chat. Hello, Tom. Yes, we are We are in Barry, and not the fictional 9F character that everyone knows and loves. Oh my god, I've only got half a boiler full of water.
You have spent an awful lot of time looking around.
Yeah, I've been sat there while the safety valve is going off, and it's just throwing all the water out the boiler.
Ah, we've got Ben in the chat as well.
Ah, there we go. Ben, hello Ben, welcome to the chat. We are indeed streaming your route. So yeah, he's just said the requirements for the route. There is a README file in there, so if you go and download the route, in the link in the description box below, you will be able to find everything that you need. So to tell you the truth, I genuinely not sure if 2800s would have been on these duties in sort of the 50s or 60s when I've set this scenario. This one is a particularly run-down looking one, as it would have been just before being withdrawn. I do have a model of one of these, but I did sell one of them. The problem is my 00 gauge layout is a little bit small for such big locos, so I've been selling off a lot of my big locos.
You should be invested in industrial engines instead, Reese.
In what engines?
Industrial.
Well, when
Yeah,
companies start making better,
that.
when they start making better 00 gauge industrials, I will.
Yeah. Although, to be honest, I'm surprised that there are more industrials around in both models and train sim, because there's so much variety there.
I really would like to see more industrial stuff in general.
I think they're definitely the unsung heroes of the railways.
So for everyone watching about the 2800, the reason I'm streaming it again is because the last time I streamed it was when me and you did the run, and we did seem to have quite a lot of issues with the multiplayer cab thing.
Yeah,
So,
and it's nice to take it for a run on your own to prove like it is the multiplayer that's the issue and not the model.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with the model whatsoever. It's absolutely perfect. It's the fact that me
Oh
and you
yeah,
are
I
morons.
whoa.
Whoa.
But yeah, there's the Loco itself. It's absolutely brilliant, and look, honestly, I can't find out wrong with it.
Okay,
But-
I just had an AWS alarm in the cab.
Okay.
I was not expecting that. That kind of scared me, if I'm honest. Mildly pooed my pants. So now I'm just running into the exchange sidings for my million-mile-long round trip of the exchange sidings, so I can go and hook up to my train.
Yeah, which train are we actually taking?
Well, there's a rake of mineral wagons there. Quite a long rake. I've been advised there's some pretty hefty grades on this route, so gotta keep a good fire in.
I'm thinking I may need to only take some of those wagons.
Oh no, you chose the Jones goods, mate. You should have chose something more appropriate.
Right, give us a few minutes to go jump into the physics file.
Oh, come on. You can't just edit the physics file.
I'm just going to up the boiler pressure to like 500 psi.
So this is Barry Docks Station, I believe. And that is what was Barry Docks' office in the background, which is now the council office. It's still there. And we're all these sidings are now gone, and there's a main road that's been built over it, but a lot of the track underneath is still there. So there's people asking how long the route is. It's not, you know, the longest route in Train Sim, but it is really well detailed, especially around Barry. And we're going to take you up as far as Walnut Tree Viaduct.
And to be honest, in a dockyard railway, it's more of a shunting puzzle route rather than a go for a big long run type route.
I mean, I would love to see this route developed further, especially to go further up the valleys, up to some collieries, so you could really do some, you know, shunting around, get some coal and bring it down to the docks. I would love to see some more custom assets made, like coal hoists.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool, not only for this route, but for, you know, payware routes as well. Get some coal hoists in game. For those of you wondering what a coal hoist is, it's one of those things over there. Those mineral wagons that you saw, they all had, was it end tipping doors? The idea was that a wagon would be put on a coal hoist, lifted up, and just tipped on end, and then all the coal inside would just fall out.
It's pretty much the same thing they use on a lot of Loco hoppers.
Yeah.
Reload all in the tenders and the bunkers.
That's it, exactly.
Your truck goes onto a platform, it's uncoupled from everything. The platform goes up, it tips the truck over, tips all the coal out, and then goes back down again.
Probably going way too fast over these points.
Probably, but that's nothing
And I
new.
derailed.
Excellent.
So we're off to a fantastic start. I didn't save, so I'm going to have to start again.
Have you ever heard of Groundhog Day, Reese?
Yeah. We got to start all over again. I can't believe I just derailed.
Can't you?
No. This is.
I can.
I can, yeah. So, take 2 of the live stream, everybody.
So that's it, we've shut it off now. Thank you for coming.
I gotta quit out. I can't get the Loco to work.
Yeah.
Train Sim has done that stupid thing again.
Yep.
I gotta reload. Sorry, everybody. We'll be back as quick as we can.
Dun, 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 dun. I am loving that custom splash screen, Reese.
It's good, isn't it?
It is. It's London North Western. Speaking of which, did you have a chance to look through that scenario?
Not yet, no.
See, I'm kinda hoping you'll save it for the stream to some extent, because I want to see how well you get on with it first time.
Yeah. I got... What is the route called, like, Keswick to Penrith?
Yes, I believe so. Train sim, you absolute... I've got to restart the game.
We're doing really well tonight, aren't we?
Just as it loads into the scenario. I hate it when it does that. It loses the controller loses connection, and then it brings up an error message, and it won't let me do anything. Even when I plug the controller back in, because it plugs in as like player 2 rather than player 1.
I had problems with that before, with the Xbox controller.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a solution other than just, like, check your drivers or something.
Yeah. Well, everything should all be up to date, but...
Right, I'm back.
Back to the future.
However, I'm going to cheat.
You're just going to skip ahead to where you need to be.
Rather than make everybody suffer through that again, I'm just going to load the Loco in the right place.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. We'll be
right back. You know, if someone could actually make Train Sim not a pile of pants, I reckon they could make a fair bit of money out of that.
Out of what?
Actually making Train Sim playable.
It is playable. It's just...
Yeah, exactly.
Ben has just said good luck with the climb out of Kazakhstan. So, I think I'm going to shovel a bit of coal, methinks. We'll see you later, Ben.
2 Jones goods.
2 Jones goods.
Well, if 1 Jones goods is good, then 2 Jones goods is great.
That was such a bad joke.
It was, but bad jokes are my specialty.
Let's see if I've got a lamp on the back. The answer is no, I don't. Well, I fitted the lamp code for mineral train.
Right.
See if I can get out of here without derailing again. I gotta really think about the road I'm set in now. Pretty much wrong roading it all the way up. Up there. Really, I should set back. Why can't I get over to the... Aww. There is quite literally no way across the main line. So I got to wrong road it all the way out of Barry. Unless I just set back.
Which you could do. Probably should do.
Yeah, let's just set back. Go on, we'll do that. Right. Oh, that's heavy. You're not allowed to drop any wagons, Sam. You gotta feel this is South Wales for you.
Alright, coal tank and the Jones goods. I'll have it up like within 10 minutes.
Coal tank?
Yeah. Are you or are you not taking mineral wagons, which mostly were used for coal?
I'm not gonna lie, that is something that we're doing.
The coal tank got its name from the fact that it was intended for coal traffic.
Really? No way.
So, I mean, technically its full name is something like coal side tank engine or something ridiculous, but yeah. So, coal engine plus coal wagons equals fine, no issues, all good.
Now hopefully we won't derail as we go onto the main line. Oh, I love this route. Just the vastness of the dockyard area is just... Oh, look at it. It's nice to see properly modelled docks as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking when we get some more industrials, if we get some more industrials, we may need to have a go at a shunting puzzle on this route.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is certain wagons dotted around and you have to pick up certain wagons and put them in a certain formation or something like that.
God, am I still shoveling? Whoops. Killed the fire, let's get the blower on. Even though it's one of Chris's Locos, I know that you can eventually kill the fire.
Yep.
Welshman 2008 says the coal tank isn't ridiculous.
Well,
I never said it was. Yeah. I just said it might not be the best choice for this weight. There we go. Brakes on. So point set, let's just make sure we got the right road. Up to Cadoxton. Through the yard. And off up the main line. Yes, we're sorted.
Sorted.
So for the first time since Train Sim came to be, I am finally going to take 2874 up the valleys with a train of empties. I'm so
what
happy.
Do you feel at the first set of points you come across again? For the first Train Sim, I'm going to do.
Well, I am gonna save every so often.
That's a good idea.
Michael Thamer's donated £2. Thank you very much, Michael. All donations are welcome and help to keep the channel running. And he says, where can you get this route? Also GWR rules. Well, thank you very much. That is absolutely 100% true. You can get this route on the download link in the description in the video.
I'm going to pick up that question that's been asked about West Coast Mainline, if that's alright, Reese.
Yeah, go ahead.
Will we ever race on the West Coast Mainline over Shat? Yes. I have a particular plan for that route. So it is something we're going to do, it's just a question of when.
Yeah, we really ought to get on with those races, aren't we?
Yeah, because that's going to be part of them. But it's one of our many work in progress projects, which looking at the way they go, we keep chipping away at them, but it's going to get to the point where there's going to be nothing, and then suddenly there's going to be everything at once.
It is going to take a while.
Yeah. There's not enough weekend evenings in the year.
No, there isn't. Well, we're picking up speed all right at the moment, but we are on a relatively flat gradient.
Well, you know, Reece, you are going to have to make it up this hill without any issues now.
I know, right? I have sort of shot myself in the foot with that one, haven't I?
The Great Western Railway's honour is at stake here.
Oh, if it's for a 2800 won't let me down. I can tell you now, a 2800 is not going to let me down.
It's not the Loco letting you down that concerns me, Reece.
Oh, it's me letting the Loco down. Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, that's what you're trying to say. Horrible person. Bad Sam.
Well, it's true.
So I'm going to be sticking at 25 miles an hour for unfitted mineral train, especially in South Wales.
$25 mile an hour. Who needs speed limits?
Oh, you're just going to take a... hang on. Western Flyer. It's Barney. He says, how would I react if he made 813 and coded it as a diesel? Barney, I would disown you and I would never speak to you again.
I also agree with that, on account of the fact that 813 is a Hudswell Clark and therefore an industrial Loco primarily, and a Great Western Loco second.
Actually, she's, I'd say third Great Western. I would say, you know, contrary to what I said before, Sam, I'd say she's Hudswell Clark first, Port Talbot Railway second, and then Great Western third, and then National Coal Board fourth.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Ben Salter is telling me I'm not going to make it, I need to lose at least half the wagons.
Do you know what? I'm tempted to take a 28xx now.
Well, we'll see. I want to see how this baby can handle the gradient. Although I think I am going to have to stop and take some screenshots. We're approaching Cadoxton. Is it Cadoxton or Cadoxton? I can never get it right. Right, let's get some screenies as we're coming through. Get rid of that logo thing. No, I don't care that services are approaching. That is one thing about Train Sim which I would love to get rid of forever. This whole service approaching notification that they do. If I could get rid of that forever, I would. So yeah, we're on the outskirts of Cadoxton. So Ben has said there is a massive gradient here. My boiler's nearly full. I've got a roaring fire in the firebox. I'm sticking my blower on. Dampers are open.
And I've ground to the halt. I mean, what?
I haven't ground to a halt yet. We'll see. I think I can already see the gradient. However, this is what the 2800s were built for. This is their territory. So I'm not overly worried yet. I'm hitting it. Sam, I've actually been a professional railwayman for once.
Really?
I'm at the bottom of the gradient. I've got a roaring fire. The fire doors are closed. Safety valves have just started lifting. And I'm ready to attack the hill.
Wow.
I know, I've actually done something properly for a change.
You're actually paying attention to your engine.
I know!
And on this
last live stream where I just nearly fell asleep, I thought I'd better probably ought to pay more attention.
Yeah. Still, I mean, it's not as bad as that time where you had like 20 coffees or something before starting.
Oh yeah. And Pro Plus.
Yeah.
Oh, there we are. Speed's just coming down now. We're on a 1 in 80. Right, reg through the roof time.
Oh, 1 in 80, that's not bad.
That is the reg through the roof. And she's lifting it. I can even ease back. Safety valve is still going.
See, this is one of the things I like about Chris's Locos. They're not completely unrealistic, but you know you can rely on them.
Yeah.
It's like, there's some Locos you take and you're like, great, I can't take a proper train because I know it can't do it. One that springs to mind for that is the 16-inch, 17-inch Hunslots. The Fitzwilliams, that's the one. Well, the Fitzwilliams, you can't really take a proper train because you know it can't handle it. Whereas with one of Chris's Locos, you don't have to worry about it.
In fact, I'm actually going to turn the train sim volume back up a little bit because I want to hear the thrash. Somebody in the chat did basically say that the 4200s were probably more common around these parts up in the valleys than the 2800s. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's not to say that the 2800s never went up the valleys, because I know they did, but it was generally more the tank engines that would have done those runs. The 2800s were kind of the once the wagons were down from the valleys, then you know they would have taken the cross-country freights.
Yeah, the 2800's more long distance.
Yeah.
But I mean, the 28s and like the 42s and all that, they are pretty similar, aren't they? I mean, it's pretty much just tank engine and tender engine versions.
I've even had to slow down Sam.
Hey!
She's been blowing off all the way. She's managing perfectly. I better make sure I'm actually set for the correct road. We're going through Wenvoe. Yeah. Road is still good. And we're just coming off the gradient now, so I'll probably have to shut off.
Nicely handled, Reese. Nicely handled. I'm impressed.
David Seward says he'd like to see a 2800 with 72 banking on a very long coal train.
Now, I'm not sure if, like, traditional on-the-back banking would work. Although, technically, traditional on-the-bank banking isn't actually correct banking. According to official operating procedures, you're supposed to stop the train and physically couple it on the front and double head.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a safety thing, because if whatever reason the loco at the front fails and you've got a long train, then because of the tension in the couplings, it can cause it to derail.
I think the only time generally the locos would have banked from the back was like on the Licky Incline or places like that.
Yeah.
Now this is the beautiful little station of Wenvoe, and we're going to pause the game. We're going to get some screedies going through Wenvoe. This is such a nice route. It's just such a shame it's not quite as long You know, it goes up to Walnut Tree and that's it. But hopefully there's scope for further expansion. It'd be a shame to finish it there. It's such a beautiful route. Ben, if you're still watching, are there any plans to go any further? I am kind of just becoming a bit of a train spotter right now, just sitting on bridges watching this train going past. Have you set off yet, Sam? Sam? Sorry guys, I can't actually hear anything right now. I'm in a tunnel. Look into the fire, through the fire and the flames. Sorry everybody, it's quite a long tunnel and we're only doing 28 miles an hour.
Well, I think it's back and working again.
Hello Sam.
Hey! My internet just had a bit of a wibble.
Oh. That's alright, we were in a tunnel anyway, so I couldn't hear anything.
Ah, fair enough.
You literally joined us right as we came out the tunnel.
Ah, that were convenient.
Uh-oh, whoops. Change that point. There's no better feeling than emergency point switching.
Personally, I think that's a bit pointless. Bad jokes, I'm here all day, folks.
I'm not actually sure where this is now, but it's a massive viaduct.
You mean you've got lost?
No, I'm just not sure exactly where on the route we are. St. Fagans. Okay, St. Fagans. I know where we are now. Grow up, Sam. Grow up. Just grow up. Not even... So I already took lots of screenshots when I did a trial... Not a trial run, you know, the photo shoot for the live stream.
Yeah.
I just basically plonked the 2800 on the viaduct at Walnut Tree. AWS there. Prototypical for the Great Western 2800. That very disturbingly loud alarm.
Great Western Railway, very disturbingly alarming.
Yes. Or ATC as it was properly known. I believe that we're approaching St. Fagans. Or have we passed? I thought we've already passed it actually. Culverhouse Cross, that's the one.
Ah, there's the very long rake of wagons. Oh, that's manageable.
Well, Locos, oh, you got the Jones goods and the coal tank, haven't you?
I was going to, but I thought if I were going to do that, then the coal tank would need to be on the front, and I want to drive the goods, not the coal tank.
Oh.
So instead, I'm taking the air class, the compound.
Oh, that's a gradient.
But yeah, I'm doing that so I can stick the Jones goods on the front. Oh, this looks good. Dirt dump on me, Brenton. How much of a gradient?
1 in 60.
Ah, that's alright.
It's only a short length of it.
1 in 60 is about the gradient we have to tackle on that Lake District route. Yeah, the one that's set in the pouring rain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I need to take screenshots of that scenario.
Yeah, I can send you some at ones I've taken over if you want.
Yeah, that'd be quite helpful.
You can save the surprise for when you actually do it. And I can save the bit I've been withholding from you until we actually do it as well.
Right, well that fills me with confidence.
Yeah, it's fine. You can definitely complete the first 3/4 of the scenario fine with no issues.
Right.
Well, Reese, an hour later and I think I'm almost in the scenario.
Ben says there's a 1 in 40 gradient coming up.
Ah, be right.
Excellent. It'd be fine.
Be right.
It'd be fine. No trouble.
Singing, don't worry about
I
the
think I can
thing.
actually see where it is. Sorry, I got a really good fire. I think we're just coming onto the gradient.
I do like a good hill.
South Wales has plenty of them.
So does Yorkshire.
In Yorkshire, we have hills the size of Tetley.
Hills. Ooh, okie dokie, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm losing my speed now. Second valve, here we go. 1 in 61. Ooh, it's getting steep. But it's alright. I got a full head of steam. And I'm injecting as well.
Right, let's set back and then get ready to go.
That is a gradient. Me Engineer 100 says the Heads of the Valley line had a continuous 1 in 34 for about a mile. Imagine driving that with a Super D.
Or a Super D and a core tank double-headed.
Or those double-headed.
For which I actually know there's an audio recording of that somewhere, and it is phenomenal. From the, you know, the last train that took a pit.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, it's an absolutely incredible audio recording. The sound is just magnificent.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we just had another super chat. Spud607 has donated €5 and says, please donate to the Connemara. I'm assuming that says Connemara Railway. If anyone watching has the change, it's first 5'3" gauge heritage railway in the Republic of Ireland. Link in the chat. There we go. Oh, I've stopped paying attention, and that's a gradient.
It's back to normal business then.
I know, right? That caught me out. I wasn't paying attention. Look. Taking the longer freight.
Well, I'm now wondering if I really need 2 locos.
Probably not, to be honest.
Probably not, but they do look quite nice.
Try it with just the Jones Goods.
I'll take the other one with me, and yeah, I'll see how it goes. I just won't open the reg on it.
Let's just check the points. We're rapidly approaching the end of the line, I'm afraid, ladies and gents.
Don't make it sound so final. We're going away from Bury, not towards it.
Unfortunately, that's as far as the route goes, and I really hope we can convince Ben to extend it further, because it is such a fabulous route. But I have to say, the end of the route, as far as, you know, Walnut Tree Viaduct, it does really look good. And we'll see it in just a few minutes when we get there. I mean, I love routes where I can sort of just hop off the train and do some line siding.
Yeah.
That's one of my favourite parts. Never say never. They are. Ben saying never say never, so there is a possibility. There we go. We've sowed the seed of extension.
Depends how much you're paying, Reese.
Oh.
How many internal organs are you willing to part with?
Most of them, but I've already got rid of a few, so I might need to keep the rest, actually. That's quite a nice little scene I just filmed then. 2800 heading towards the tunnel. Well, I think I probably ought to slow down because there's a very nice viaduct at the other side, and I believe that there's a 15-mile-an-hour speed restriction on it. The engineer says he tried building the Heads of the Valley line. If anyone can build the Heads of the Valley line, that would be incredible, because that route, I don't know how familiar you are with it, Sam, but it's basically...
Not very, to be honest, but I know it's London North Western, so that's good enough for me.
Well, it's basically just like South Wales heavy coal stuff, but with LMS locos.
Ah, perfect.
So you would love it. You'd be in your element, I think.
Yeah, I do like... The one thing I like in train sim is hills that you can properly work the engines on, and LMS locos and industrials.
I really want to see like a proper national coal board route. You know, like one of those ones, like the whole network.
Like a big one.
Like the Lambton system or something.
Yeah.
And even, and I know I'm asking a lot here, rope working.
Ooh, now that's ambitious. Talk to Guion.
Yeah, Walnut Tree Viaduct. One of the most recognisable parts of the South Wales valleys in the steam age. A viaduct which has long since been demolished, like so many viaducts in South Wales.
I'll tell you what, Reese, this Jones Goods can fair pull.
Yeah? I must admit, I did spend a long time vegging out and taking screenshots earlier, so I'm not going to take too many. But it does look good. Up the rock from Abergavenny. Yeah, that's exactly it. Highland Winterwolf has just donated $10. Thank you very much, sir. All donations are very much appreciated and keep the channel running. Hope you're having a good day, Reese. Tuned in while running model trains down at the club. Oh, there we are. So we're keeping you entertained while you're playing with trains. I must admit, I would like to go and join a model railway club, but yeah. So, sat in the siding just to the right of us is actually the same Loco, number 2874, because in a moment you will see what has happened. This is the end of the route in Train Sim, and we can go no further, so there has been a bit of a landslide as it appears. Unfortunately, as this is the end of the route, this is as far as I'm going to take you, so we'll have to just stop the train somewhere. We'll pretend that we've run up to the colliery and, you know, load it up and everything. So we'll just have to pretend. But it's okay.
Ah, there's a point, Reese. Is there actually a rake of loaded wagons already there, or have you added them in?
No, I added them in myself.
Ah. Okay.
There is, however, a set of points, so you could run around whatever you do take up there.
Yeah.
Unless you do just add it in the scenario editor.
It's a bit late for that, I'm on the way.
Fair enough then. So we're just going to hop on to... We're just going to do a Blue Peter now. This is one I prepared earlier. There we go. Correct tender lamp code. Breaks off and we're heading back for Barry. Unfortunately, because it's a new Loco, it does mean I've lost all my fire and everything, but because we're going mainly downhill, it's not such a big deal. Chaz's train says he's got a Great Western Grange in 7 on ready at Barry Pier Head. Off we go, let's take this break of loaded wagons down. Me Engineer says, Reese, would you like Mountain Ash in Train Sim? The Pontypool Road to Neathline would be a mega good route for Train Sim, as would the Brecon and Merthyr. Well, I can honestly say the Mountain Ash colliery system would be fantastic, because there's a couple of locos already in Train Sim. What else? The Pontypool Neathline is something that I would very much like to see in Train Sim. Because that route, oh, I mean, I've seen some pictures of it. It's just little, 5600 tanks or little Great Western tank engines, but they're just flying along. They're literally doing like 50 or 60 mile an hour at some point. Wheel slip.
Well, you did say you were doing a Blue Peter.
Well, this is one I prepared earlier.
Well, I mean, wheel slip.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Hey! See, I told you, bad jokes, I'm here all night.
Wheel slip. It's going to take a little bit of time to get some speed up, I think. So we're going to use that time to just get some atmospheric screenshots.
I like this.
What? What are you doing?
The goods and the route, it's good.
Oh, the Jones Goods?
Yeah. I'm driving the Christmas livery.
Oh, right.
It's not actually a Christmas livery, but that's what it reminds me of.
Okay.
It's like the apple green with the red frames. I don't know if that's the A-Class's influence, but the A-Class is just coasting.
Oh, is it?
Well, I've not got the reg open on it, so... And that's the one in 80 I'm on.
So yeah, going back to what I was telling you all earlier about the Barry scrapyard route. Basically, Ben has given me permission to convert this route. Although it's not really converting. Oh wait, hang on. F2, save before I crash. Did I check the points? Did I check the points? Probably not. Good thing I checked. We're good.
Well, Reese, I am completely and totally ignoring the speed limits.
Are you?
Well, it's 25 for an unfitted train, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I'm currently doing 35.
Well, excellent. Who cares about speed limits?
It's fine, the hill will stop me.
Yeah, that's why a lot of South Wales lines did actually have sand drags.
Yeah.
Joe
Well,
Light Railways.
Gravity brakes.
Gravity. Joe Light Railway says, would we do the Darjeeling Himalayan Railway in the near future? I believe somebody did release a free version of that, didn't they?
Yep, I don't know about the route, but I've got all the stock for it because it's narrow gauge and there's hardly any narrow gauge, so like, yep, I'll have that. But yeah, that could be an interesting one to try.
Let's open her up.
That would be a Wenvoe. Points are all set there.
Take it to the Roos. Yeah, that was the plan after was... Oh, I suppose I could just run this onto Roos, couldn't I? Although somebody, I'm not going to mention names, went and dumped a diesel multiple unit somewhere. That might be inconvenient. My plan was to get back to Barry and then either have a play around with some wagons in the docks, or... Well, I was going to take a DMU down to the Pier Head just to show everybody down the Pier Head. And then I kind of want to have a look around the docks. The Mardy route needs an update, according to Navs Media Productions. Yeah, I would like to see the Mardy route get a bit of a reboot.
I'm gonna be honest, I've not actually driven it much.
I'm new.
No.
It is quite good fun if you're in the right mood for it.
Yeah. I think the only time I've driven it is when I was quite new to train sim and I took a massively overloaded austerity.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't really know what I was doing back then and it ended in disaster and I don't think I touched it since.
It is really good. I enjoy playing around, especially with the Pania, the National Goalboard Pania.
Yeah. Ah, that's a tunnel. Well, we won't want to stall in there, we best open her up a bit.
What was the 7F which stalled in the tunnel on the Somerset and Dorset?
I don't know.
I think Chris Eden Green did a little feature about it in that one episode of Slips.
I'd have to go back and have a look at it.
I can't remember which number it was.
Yeah, it's not pleasant stalling in a tunnel. You just gas everyone.
Well, that's what happened. Is they either stalled, or number 89, 53809, I guess. They either stalled or they just like went really slow and the crew passed out on the footplate, and then the Loco just eventually made it to the top of the gradient, and it just went down the other side and just like went crashing into Bath Green Park.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Now this is where the real challenge is being able to hold back on the gradient.
Hold back, hold back.
I do have some pictures in one of my old railway books of a little pannier tank Loco, but it's pretty much on a mineral train, the same sort of weight as this. It's just absolutely insane that they used to do such big heavy freights, but with tiny little Locos like that.
That's one of the things that I love about little engines, because everyone goes, oh, they're small, so they're not powerful. But it's not the case at all.
Oh no, panniers in South Wales, panniers were everywhere.
Oh, I don't just mean panniers, but I just mean like little tank engines in general. I mean, a lot of them were built for heavy goods and short distances.
Yeah.
They were incredibly powerful. They just weren't good at keeping that up over a long distance. But for grand distance, they were perfect.
Well, it looks like there's an old abandoned branch line there we just passed over. It's so nice just to sort of sit on the line side as well every now and then.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the things I hoped would be with Train Sim World, is that the line side sort of thing. But they have yet to make anything that really excites me.
Yep, and given that announcement not so long ago, I don't think they will make anything that is going to be particularly exciting.
Don't get me wrong, every now and then I'm quite up for driving a diesel. Depending, if I'm in the right frame of mind, I'm quite happy driving a diesel.
Yeah.
But, I mean, up until I was a volunteer, I had no time for diesels. But then I started playing around with them, and then I took an interest.
Yeah.
So they do have their places. Tin boxes, they do have a place.
So again, I don't mind one every now and then, but 99% of the time I'll go for some at Steam.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So 43 mile an hour, that's okay for a mineral train, right?
Joe Light Railway's asking, can we do the Great Central route? Isn't that, is it Steam Sound Supreme that did that?
I think so. Do you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking if I should start my planned reskins for the Jones.
What reskins are you going to do?
I've got two in mind. London North Western Railway Blackberry. So,
I like
line.
the sound of that one.
And Furnace Railway livery.
Go on, GWR for the win.
No.
Yes.
No,
Complete with a safety valve. And copper cap chimney.
Just because we can, it doesn't mean we should, Reese. Personal responsibility.
Oh, Ben has to leave. His wife is not a big fan of the live stream. Well, alright. Sorry to your wife. I'm sorry I'm not very entertaining. I hope you enjoyed it anyway, Ben, so thank you for developing the route. Good night, everybody. How about going up the Licky? I don't know if I've even got that route. Oh crap, did I check the points? Save.
Literally, as soon as he leaves and you swear he's... As soon as he leaves.
The answer is no, I didn't check the points, and emergency point switching, and I'm going into a siding. Crap, crap, crap.
Another fine Angry Welshman's production.
Right, emergency point switching. I feel like that guy. What's that Disney cartoon? Casey Jones, the brave engineer, the signalman in that. He's just like throwing point levers left, right, and centre. That's what I was just then.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's a really old Disney cartoon.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that. You could go a bit more up to date and go with Wallace and Gromit.
Well, putting track down in front of you from the box.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny really, with certain countries, that's how they lay the track now.
Oh yeah. But they got big machines to do it. Oh my god, right. People watching the live stream, please, there's no need. If a comment doesn't get read, you don't need to post it 9 times. Goodness sake, just have some moderation. That's why I put slow mode on the chat, for this exact reason. Rant over.
Well, I'm having to open up the air class for the first time.
Yeah.
Not like I need to, but...
Where are you now?
I'm on a hill.
Really? No way.
I'll tell you what, though, the pair of these...
Oh my god, what the hell? Well, that was absolutely a phenomenal bit of railwaying. I need to watch that on the live stream, on the replay.
Oh boy.
The tender literally just flew over on one side.
Oh! Oh my.
That was beautiful.
And you stayed on the rails?
Somehow.
That's even more incredible.
I've basically just let the fire die down.
Well, I mean, you are going downhill.
There's not really much need, although I haven't shut the reg yet.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think this bit is kind of flat though.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with charging up the valleys at 75 miles an hour. No, nothing wrong with that at all.
I think it's a wise strategy.
I mean, I feel like that when I drive through the South Wales valleys. I just want to get through them as quickly as possible.
Well, I mean, it is Wales, isn't it?
Certain parts of Wales are a bit eh.
Yeah, like that whole big part that's just to the left of England.
Funny.
I mean, the mountainy bit in the middle's okay.
Well, you mean the bit where nobody is there?
Yeah!
It's perfect there, near the Brecon Beacons.
It is absolutely amazing how much nicer a place is when there are absolutely no humans there.
Well, I say that about France. France is lovely, it's just a shame for all the French people.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's no Yorkshire, but what is?
You could be on an island in the Caribbean, the most beautiful place in the world, and you'd still be like, oh, I wish I was in Yorkshire.
You know what? You're absolutely right. There is only one place in the world I like more than Yorkshire, and that's the Lake District, which is just northern Yorkshire. It's not Yorkshire, but it's close enough. Well, that would be the end of the line, so it's time to dump the brakes. And I should probably also shut off on the A-class.
Do you find if you leave the reg open on that, will it just shove you on, or does it? Like,
Pretty much, yeah.
Does it?
Well, I'm not entirely sure how the double heading physics works with Caledonia Works Locos. I've not quite wrapped my head around it. But I do know that in order to actually get the visual effect of the steam, you have to manually open the reg.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that actually affects the performance of the Loco or not.
I don't think it does. I thought that was just to get the visual effect.
It might be just for the visual effect. But who knows? I'm sure Guiano will tell us at some point. It would appear I am missing a few assets from this route. Probably should have checked that before I installed it, but oh well.
Yeah. Mr. Tetravel is asking if we'll drive the LNWR Greater Britain.
Yes!
There you go, next.
Not in the next stream, but hopefully the stream after.
The next stream is the Jones Goods, isn't it?
Yep. We need to decide a route for that. I know we were going to go for PVR, but are we going to stick with that, or are we going to go Scotland?
I was kind of thinking about, is it Speyside?
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking about getting the snow out on the Speyside line.
Now that's nice.
But it depends if my computer can handle it. So
After test run.
Have a little play, yeah. King Ori, no, I haven't actually streamed the Greater Britain yet. Oh god, why does everybody keep posting comments and deleting them? Why? What is the point?
What they're doing is they're saying, haha, Lord Reach, you suck, LMS is better, and then quickly deleting it before you can see it to torment you.
Well, from now on they'll be banned. Anyone that says anything like that about the LMS will be banned.
So,
especially you're going to be banned straight away.
All I need to do to get peace and quiet is just say that Great Western is bad and LMS is good.
Right, it's time to mute you. Nav's Media Productions is saying, are the coffee mugs still available? Yes, they are. Ready for you to buy right away. Oh wow, apparently I'm speeding.
Congratulations! You know, I've just noticed Chris has got new people on the Jones Goods.
New people?
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
Like new
human characters.
Yeah. They actually look pretty tidy.
Yeah, it's about time to have some new human characters in Train Sim, I think.
Yeah. They might not be animated, but to be honest, I don't think they really need to be. I mean, if the animations were actually related to the Loco, then yeah, but we're just the folks that are like just looking around and drinking tea and stuff. It's a bit odd on the footplate.
Yeah. It would be nice to have a Loco where the people in the cab are actually like holding the control.
Yeah.
And like if you notch back, they actually wind the reverser around. That sort of
I
thing.
think it's something that they have planned. It's just it requires a heck of a lot of work for what it is.
Apparently this year is the 185th anniversary of the Great Western Railway.
Yeah. Also, I've just got to the end of the route. I like what he's done with that landslide.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's quite a good way to sort of finish a route, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a really nice way of just ending it.
Right, now I gotta make sure I'm going in the correct way.
Someone just said the only reason the LMS existed is because they wish there could be GWR instead. Well, it's funny you say that because it was actually a Great Western man that went to the LMS.
Yeah.
So it's actually the other way around.
Backstabbing bastard. I mean, yeah. I think he was bribed.
Well, I mean, obviously.
I mean, obviously the LMS just needed such a superior burst of engineering that they just had to bribe and get someone to turncoat.
Well, yeah. That's exactly what happened, Reese.
If at first you don't succeed, lie, cheat and win the LMS way, the best way.
There you go. I mean, to be fair, that is pretty much exactly what they did. But it's not necessarily like the pre-grouping constituents were on NAF, it was just specifically the it was the Midland Railway. It was basically the policy of if we can't pull it with one little engine, we'll pull it with 10 little engines.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had that chat in the Caledonia Works group chat about all that, didn't we? Which, to be honest, I found quite interesting, but I also find it funny how, you know, like the London North Western was the most successful, and I just said, nah, Midland.
It's because they were biased.
Pretty much, yeah. But just think how different the LMS could have been if the LNWR guys had been the main people behind it rather than the Midland.
Yeah.
It could have just completely changed the company just like that.
I may have to do some shoveling, but I'm so close to Barry again, I don't want to.
Yeah.
That's a steep gradient there. I don't know whether you played this in Rail Simulator days, like back in 2007, 2008, but whenever you were on a hill with the default mineral wagons, if you were going downhill and you were braking, they would literally like change in angle by like 40 degrees or something. It was a bug in the wagons. You there, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like in the old episodes of Over the Hills where it was made in Rail Sim days, you can really see it on one of the episodes. I think it's like episode 3 where they're running away down a hill. You can see the wagons are all like bugged out.
Yeesh. Yeah, I didn't join Train Sim until it must have been 2015, I think.
Yeah.
But I started with MSTS and then I moved on to Open Rails, and I stuck with that with actually quite a long time.
Yeah.
And I think I can't remember how I got into train sim. I think it were watching your videos, and I thought one day, yeah, I'll just go for it. And if I'd never done that, I would be a lot richer now.
I know. I was just about to say you'd have a lot more money in your pocket, wouldn't you?
I would have easily an extra 4-figure sum in my pocket.
Oh, easy. Train sim knows how to suck money out of you.
Yeah. Although I've got to admit, doing all these decals for Chris has got to be one of the best monetary investments I've ever made in train sim. Because it saves me so much. Clonk, clonk, clonk.
Okay, this Loco is slightly too long for these points, and it's throwing itself all over the place. Yeah, get your kids involved in Train Simulator, and they won't afford to do drugs.
Yep. Or better still, get them involved in model railways.
Yep.
Or, you know, even better, live steam.
16 mil.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of... Really, digital trains is the cheapest variety of trains.
In a way, yeah, it is.
And it still costs an arm and a leg.
I mean, people do complain about train sim models, but if you think about it, you know, like, the 2800 is what? When it comes out, it's going to be like £15, isn't it?
When
it comes out. If you want a 00 gauge one, you're only going to get one livery, one Loco, but you're going to pay like 8 times that figure, if not more.
Yeah.
So, you know...
You might not get a physical, touchable model with train sim, but you get an equally detailed model, even if it is only digital. And to be honest, I think you get more playability out of it than with 00 gauge stuff and model stuff.
Definitely.
I mean, you can't go in the cab of a model Loco, you only turn it on a dial or press a button on a computer. So
we've successfully gone and brought a loaded coal train down the valleys. I've probably taken about 400 screenshots again. It just seems like digital rail photography seems to be my thing now.
Do you know what I'm thinking on this viaduct?
What?
I've got the sudden urge to tip the whole train sideways.
Why?
Because I think it would make a really satisfying splash when it falls off.
Oh, okay.
You know in that one Thomas episode, the one with like the narrow gauge ghost thing?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Going over at bridge.
You cut out then, Sam, you there? Sam?
But the development on it.
Out. Sam, you there?
Yep.
Sorry, you cut out there.
Right, basically, you know the Thomas episode, Duncan gets spooked?
Yes.
The one with an narrow gauge Loco on the bridge on the gorge?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm basically thinking it'd be like that.
Well, we just push it off the side of the...
Yeah! Well, it went along and it just hit that really obvious, like, derailment where it just sort of stopped and jumped.
Yeah.
I wonder if I ram it hard enough. But do I want to sacrifice the Jones goods?
Yes.
Nah.
Yes.
Now if I had the 28xx I might do it, but...
There we go. We've brought a coal train back. And I've uncoupled and I'm going to pretend that we're going to run onto the shed. But because we're already 95 minutes in, I'm going to zoom over to Barry if I can. Just about. And we're going to take a little diesel trip. we're going to go to from Barry Town to Barry Island, and Pier Head, down to the Pier Head.
And then what have we got to do after that? Where are we going last?
Down the docks. Oh, we need to go up to Roost Point as well.
Right,
That won't take long. Just making sure that the road is completely set for me. Down to the Pier Head. Yep, there we go. I genuinely can't remember the last time I drove a diesel multiple unit.
Yeah, it's not the most common of things to drive, is it?
I must admit, in Train Sim World, I did drive the DMU quite a lot in that, because it was quite satisfying to drive.
Yeah.
But other than Train Sim World, I've never really been that bothered about driving them. But it's just really nice to see one without yellow on it. It's got the slight yellow whiskers on, proper 1960s feel.
Right, let's run round and let's head back.
Oh, you are actually running round, are you?
I've run round, I'm coupled up and I'm heading back.
Oh, nice. I'm heading out from Barry Town down to Barry Island.
Barry Island. See, it's actually just made out of 9Fs.
Yes. Completely. What's the speed limit here? I think it's 15, isn't it? Ah.
It's made out of 9Fs and all of its inhabitants are called Barry.
And they like chicken pies.
No one knows where they originate from. They just know that if you need a Barry, that's where you go to get one. It's the sacred ancestral home place of all Barrys.
Yes, Reese, we're heading down the docks. Down to the docks we go. Goodness me, it's already like 25 to 10.
Yep. Time for when you're having fun, or, you know, trying to get Train Sim to work.
I know, that's like what we spend about 95% of our time doing.
No, that's reasonable, a third of our time.
Yeah, fair enough. Nathan's actually brought up a good point. The Armstrong Powerhouse Thumper, that is one I genuinely do like driving that, and I don't think I've ever done a proper live stream of the Thumper. But it is a good laugh to drive that.
Yeah, well, I've got to admit, I do find the AP stuff is generally worth doing.
Yeah, if it's a diesel from Armstrong Powerhouse, I'll buy it. Although I was quite irritated recently that I bought the Class 31 enhancement pack, and literally the day later they put a sale on. Half price.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah, although to be fair, it might have been because you put the sale on.
Yeah, I bought it and he went, "Oh, am I still selling that? I know, let's have a sale." Really?
Yeah.
Barry Island, a light here for Butlins. I believe there used to be Butlins here. It's a nice little diesel, that. And it does kind of capture the atmosphere of Barry. I don't know if you've ever been to South Wales, Sam?
Neither do I, to be honest.
Oh.
I don't think I have. I've definitely been to North Wales, but I don't know about South.
Okay. You'd remember it because of the smell, probably. But, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, Northern is better.
Of course it is. Of course Northern would be better.
Well, yeah, obviously. But not Scotland, that's too far north.
I've just found a scene from Over the Hills, Sam. Mr. Davies is looking at the DMU. He's come on a day out to Barry Island to go to the scrapyard.
Yes. Which is actually something we have got wrote into it.
It is. But now we can accurately do it.
Aye.
And now to proceed to Barry Pier Head.
Mr. Davies and all of his wartime trauma.
Oh, I know, right?
People are going to flip over that, aren't they?
Probably. King Ori is asking, doesn't the Barry Tourist Railway start here? Yes and no, because the Barry Tourist Railway doesn't really exist anymore. It's kind of gone. Which is a real shame. Because there's so many assets here that are absolutely phenomenal. And it could be an amazing heritage railway, but it's all just, at the moment, it's just wagon storage. So it's such a shame. I mean, alright, the trains can't exactly run into the tunnel anymore because the rails have been lifted there. But if you had some money and put it into Barry Island Station, and then, you know, the engine depot, make it a proper motive power depot, why couldn't you have rail tours running all the way from London to Barry? You know, go through Cardiff, and then to Barry.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing. There's so much potential in Barry, and it's just not being seen. It's not being used properly.
It's like a lot of things though, isn't it? It just needs someone with a lot more money than sense to come along and get it done.
Definitely.
And that's the thing, I mean, if you had the money to do it, there's loads you could do with all sorts of things, but ultimately, if no one has the money and the interest, then it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Barry Pier Head. Bum-ba-ding-ding. The next stop is Barry Pier Head. Alight here for ferries to Bristol and Watchet Harbour.
Watch it.
Watch it.
Watch it.
At least I always at Burnham-on-Sea. Maybe the ferries went to Burnham-on-Sea. In fact, I think one of the old paddlers on the Paignton and Dartmouth steam railway used to work on this route.
Huh.
So yeah, the station where my office is now sited. We got a ship aground on the breakwater. Completely not my fault.
Hey, we've also got a nice LMS station building.
Yeah, well, you know. What can we do?
No, that's a good thing, Reese. It enhances it.
Shut up. Oh yeah, there's Mr. Davies observing ships in the dry dock. Down at the Pier Head. Oh, I'm just taking so many screenshots. So, yeah, I mean, I hope everybody's enjoyed this route. We're going to go back up to Barry Town now. So let's get back in the cab and change ends.
I think he's used some quite interesting station signs there, because I think they're actually...
Yeah, they're reskins, I think.
Oh, I don't know if they are reskins or if they're actually, like, custom typeable ones.
Oh, right, yeah.
Based off just a quick look at them and where they flicker and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. The old station you're at now is the compound for Barry Yacht Club, if I remember right. Yes, Reese, it is. There's Barry Yacht Club, the RNLI are here, ABP, and Bristol Harbour Pilot. Oh crap! Stop! Oh! I bet I haven't made it. I won't be able to switch that point. Yes, I can. It's almost as though I planned it.
Almost, but not quite.
Almost. I can enact the illusion of honesty there.
Can you?
Yes. And we're going to run up to Barry Town, platform 1, and then we'll pretty much just chuff our way Oh, we'll have to wrong road it up to Roos, I think. What about Barry Pier? Will we be going there? We just been there, mate. That's where we've just been. That's Barry Pier Head. Yeah, totally intended to do an emergency stop there. Yeah, I keep trying to start this conversation about Barry Scrapyard. Yeah, Ben has given me permission to make the modifications to turn this route into the Barry Scrapyard route, so got Jared working on the track work for me this weekend, hopefully. And the plan is that I will do all the scenery then once he's done the track for me. Although he did give me a warning, he said he may have to have a fiddle with some of the scenery. So Jared being Jared, he's probably gonna go completely undrivable.
Well, I shall try my best to encourage him to.
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, the thing is, the reason for doing it is for filming over the hills in this, Barry Scrapyard scene.
Yeah.
So. Oh, excuse me.
I'll think about it.
Please do. I am dying. My diesel is dying. So I need to change down a gear. What was that? Why is my diesel dying?
Because Reese, you're an incompetent driver.
Okay, I've got no power. Literally,
it's literally push a lever and go, Reese, and you've broken it.
I think Train Sim might have gone kaput.
You push a lever and go, and you've broken it.
No, I think Train Sim is because I can't change my cab view. No, I can't change my cab view or anything. Oh, she's biting. She's biting. Why can't I change my cab view? There we go. I think it's a very steep gradient as well. Yeah, it's quite a steep gradient for a diesel multiple unit.
Any excuse, Reese, any excuse.
I wasn't in neutral, I was in second and I went down to first gear.
Or you were neutral and you went up to second or whatever.
I don't know what happened, either way I'm going now. Train Sim went weird for a minute there anyway.
That is the most unnecessary manoeuvre.
What?
I just went squiggling into a siding to come out of it immediately after.
Oh right, okay. I think some of the signalling on the route is a little bit weird.
I think that's probably just Train Sim.
Yeah, it's Train Sim, it's not the route.
It's doing that weird, no, you can't change these points, that's impossible thing.
Oh, I hate it when Train Sim does that.
And you're like, is it? Why? It's like, nope, points can't be changed. You are going into this siding whether you want to or not. Although I have found that if you hold G or Shift G depending on direction, when you're approaching points like that, it will continuously flick between them and you have a 50-50 chance of it going the right way or instantly derailing you.
Yeah, in most cases it'll derail.
Well yeah, but if you're going too fast to go over the points anyway, then, you've got a chance of making it at least.
Oh, this is a really nice scene right now, actually. Diesel multiple unit in the 60s. Coming up from Barry Pier Head, Barry Island, back to Barry. Over the little girder bridge. There's plenty of cars going to Barry Island today.
Well, they've all got engines to buy.
Yes, every single one of them is going to buy a Loco from the scrapyard.
Every single one of them is actually a clone of Mr. Davies.
Yes. turning up to speak to a clone of Die Woodham and say, I know where I can buy you an engine.
Isn't that what Mr. Yorkshireman says to the doodah?
To the doodah.
Who?
You're only a co-writer, Sam, and that's the level of knowledge.
Like Welsh, and you changed them all as well.
Oh, I'm sorry for being Welsh.
You should be.
English oppression. This won't happen when we get home rule.
No, I know where I can find you an engine. You know where you can find me an engine. Better yet, I know where I can find you 4.
That's essentially where it's gonna what's gonna happen. It's not gonna be I know where I can get you 2. It's gonna be I know where I can get you 268.
You know what? We need to write like him.
Maybe that will go in the series rather than I can find you 2. I can find you 2. How many locos did go to Barry? Was it 260?
We'd have to research it and get the exact number, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was 218 that survived, but then a number of them were actually cut up.
Yeah, there were quite a few that were cut up, but I think it was generally the ones that were completely buggered.
Yeah. Although I do find it alarming that they scrapped a 9F just to get the preservationists to get a move on.
I kind of don't. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to remember, they are a business trying to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, and
they
it is...
didn't have to save steam.
I mean, yeah, they can't wait forever. They do kind of need to prove that, you know...
Oh, I derailed.
Oh, well.
There we are. We've done really well. Gonna have to start the scenario again.
But, yeah, I think they just need to prove, you know, we are a scrapyard and we will scrap them if you don't buy them.
I think it's time to go have a look around the dockyard now, isn't it?
We've got the dockyard and that end station, but yeah.
I was going to go up to Roos, but... Oh, I suppose if I load in the scenario again, I could. Come on, Train Sim. I'm pretty sure I set the points correctly before I went up there.
Well, it did look like you derailed over the last set of points, not the first set.
I'm going to have to watch the stream back, because I'm pretty sure I set that point.
Well, if you hadn't, it would be a bit pointless.
Oh, shut up. So, for the people still watching, we're down from 91 viewers to 65, so we've lost a few. What does everybody think? Everybody liking the route? Everybody going to go and download it? And drive around Barry Docks and shout Barry at the top of their lungs?
Yeah, we need to make that as, you know, like the audio markers?
Yeah.
Like put down in Train Sim?
Yeah.
Like, really annoying church bell one, for example.
Oh, yeah.
We need one of those, but with Barry.
Nice.
Just with Barry!
It's got to be done. In fact, I think it can be done. Right, let's set the route properly this time. From there, we're going to go that way, and then we're going to go that way. No, I don't want to go into a siding.
Why not?
Because they're overrated.
Nothing of a cheeky and special.
And then we're going up to Roos, where I think we'll just have to run round and come back. Roos Point. Or at least we could do this relatively quick. I did say to Ben I would go up to Roos Point.
You can go up to Roos and then you can go have a look around the docks.
That's the plan. We'll take a little, either a dock shunt or I might just take the 2800 and we'll end up down Pier Head to end the live stream.
Yep.
This is departing Barry Town. It's a great route. What are the requirements? Well, it is a README file in the download. So there's a whole bunch of, there are a whole bunch of assets which you need. It's a cracking little route. Second gear.
definitely a good route if you prefer shunting and moving stuff around rather than just long distance running.
Yeah, it's one of those routes that you can really just get in and have a go.
Yeah.
It's worth it, especially because it's free. It's one of those routes. I think you get a lot of route for, you know, for nothing really.
Do you know what I think to that, Reese?
What?
I think that's your inner Yorkshireman talking.
Yeah, well, you know, I did live in Yorkshire for a year, so...
That's going to be it every time Yorkshire's mentioned, isn't it? I was a Yorkshireman for a year.
Are those missing textures? Where?
On your bogies, on your DMU.
Are they?
Yeah.
No, surely not. Oh my god, there are!
On like your speeder.
On the speedometer, yeah, there are. Oh dear. Missing textures. That's not good.
That's train sim.
That's train sim, Jim, but not as we know it.
No, that's train sim exactly as we know it. That's the issue.
Yeah. Tom's saying he doesn't know where to get the route. Tom, there's a link in the description below.
But only if you like, subscribe and give Reese some of your organs.
Apparently I need to put the power down to 0 before I change gear. I know there's this orange line thing which I need to pay attention to.
Isn't the orange line thing your AWS, or is that a different orange line
No,
thing?
it's like for changing up and down gears. I've never fully understood it, to be honest.
Well, my personal experience with diesels in train sim has been when it stops gaining speed, that's when you change gear.
Yeah. It's about the level of my knowledge with diesels, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, coughs and sneezes spread diseases.
And coronavirus.
Coincidence? Hashtag diesels made coronavirus.
I know, that's just something that people seem to have overlooked.
I know. It's clearly a plot by the diesels to get all the steam engines scrapped.
It is. By spreading coronavirus and blaming the steamers.
Yeah.
Right, apparently there's this viaduct I need to take some screenshots of. There's the Bristol Channel. Oh, that looks good. Let's pause it there. Get some screenies. Oh yeah. Is this Porthkerry? Porthkerry. It is Porthkerry. And I'm not sure... Ah, there is Roos Down Station. It's nice to actually see some Welsh town names in Train Sim. I was going to say, there's not many Welsh routes in Train Sim anymore since they took the... Was it the South Wales Coastal and North Wales Coastal off sale?
Yeah, that's a point.
Which is really gutting, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, they basically just removed Wales, didn't they?
Essentially, I should have written to DTG and just said this is racism.
I was just gonna say exactly that. You should sue them for racism. Welsh lives matter.
I know, right? Oh, Terry Bartlett's saying he got the Class 101 117 diesel multiple unit sound pack from AP. I did not know there was one for this DMU, so perhaps I need to look at that.
Yeah, I think I've got them.
I think this is just standard sounds, because I absolutely hate the horn, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
It does just sound really terrible. Right, and this is Roos Point. So we'll just stop here, change ends and run back to Barry. Just thought I'd show this off before we head down the docks. The line should continue, but this is as far as the route goes. There's a little campsite here. It's Mr. Davis again. He's gone on holiday.
He has teleportation abilities.
Well, it's the 1950s, but there's a Vodafone store on the high street.
Well, yeah, Vodafone are a well-known, well-established, traditional British brand, obviously.
In the 1960s, yeah, most definitely.
It's a well-known fact.
Change ends.
See, I've got to admit, that's something I want to see for Train Sim. More steam era scenery assets.
Oh yeah.
But like, generic ones. So like, houses that don't have plastic windows and doors.
Yeah.
Shops that aren't like expressly modern. Just general stuff like that. I mean, a lot of like the detailed scenery assets in Train Sim, you get a fair few Steam era ones for them, but sort of the long range ones and, you know, the shops and houses and general background stuff, it all tends to be modern stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I just started rolling. Apparently the missing textures on the 117 are the reason that Dovetail Games withdrew this product from the Steam store. Okay. I mean, that does sound like a bit of an excuse. You know, missing textures can be fixed with a patch.
Yeah, but it's also Dovetail Games.
Yeah, they do weird shit, don't they?
Yeah. Loco's got missing textures, that's it, erase it from history. I can see Dovetail Games doing that, not gonna lie.
Just heading back to Barrytown. Tom's been drinking. Hope you enjoyed your drink, Tom. Gear up.
Why are you gearing up? You going somewhere exciting?
Yeah, we're taking off from Heathrow.
Oh. But Reese, don't you know that's spreading coronavirus?
It is.
Well, sharing is caring. Just as a disclaimer, don't go spreading coronavirus. If you share it, you're not caring at all.
Would be nice to see more DMUs. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see a few more in Trade Sim.
I've got to admit, it is actually one of the areas I would like to see developed. But I'd still rather see industrial steam over it.
Oh, definitely.
More industrial, well, not even specifically industrial steam locos, but diesels as well.
Oh yeah, like
but,
little diesel shunters.
Yeah, in just primarily industrial steam, but secondarily industrial diesels. In that order, those are both at the top of my what I want to see in Train Sim list.
What I would love to see, and you may not like me for saying it, is English Electric 060 diesel shunter.
No, I'm fine with that.
Because it's just, I don't know, they're just so generic. Like literally in the 60s, they just appeared literally everywhere where there was industrial steam. These things just appeared. They were built, like, I'd say they were probably as, you know, popular as the austerities were.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying, I wouldn't say no to it. It's industrial stuff. Because, I mean, there's hardly any industrial stuff in Train Sim. And it's a crying shame because there was more industrial stuff in the country than there was normal stuff. yeah, if you look at industrial railways, looking at like the austerities and that, there were like 400 odd of them, out of which like almost a quarter have ended up preserved, just because they were everywhere and they were common and they were good. And it's, yeah, I do think it's a crying shame because they're the perfect locos for something like train sim where you want a quick drive but you want to actually work a loco.
Yeah.
That's the thing I like about them. They're not long distance ones, but you can properly thrash them, and you can't really do that with a lot of other locos without having a huge distance to do it.
It'd be nice to hear more proper thrash.
Just to be able to, you know, a short 3-mile branch line, but be able to take a massively heavy train and just full regular whole thing. And then when you get to the end, you can spend half an hour sorting your wagons out, take them back, and go back and do it again. Like, it'd be a lot more playable, in a way.
Yeah, the play factor needs to be there.
Yeah. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like train sim, but yeah, I like the races and that, but it gets a little bit boring when
all you do is just one end to the other.
Yeah.
I mean, I was saying it in the last live stream, is I don't remember the last time I actually played a proper scenario. Which is
I don't think I...
You've never played a proper scenario?
Yeah. I've only ever done free roams and just messed around.
I mean, it is depending on what you want from the game, isn't it? You know, it's not a problem. It's just, you know, I just really stopped enjoying scenarios when all the scenarios I ever played, there was a problem with them. You know, it'd say like missing locos or missing assets or whatever. It was just always a problem. Right, let's just see where we're actually going. I'm going to take the little dock tank. We're going to go have a look at number 2 dock. Are we going the right way?
No, we're going the left way.
We are actually. Fun.
Hey!
That's good enough. We'll just go for a little stroll down the docks, and then we'll take the 2800 down number 1 dock. So, I think this is the first time I've ever streamed this little Hawthorne Leslie tank engine. It's one of those ones where it's a beautiful little logo, but it needs some updates. Like, the cab view position is just so bleh where you're standing.
Yeah. Like I said, and back to the whole, we just need more industrials. Although I've got to admit, the Hawthorne Leslies are actually pretty decent for their age.
For the age of the model, they're not bad, are they?
Yeah, the actual model itself is pretty nice.
Could just do with some new reskins and stuff.
Yeah.
And some new cab views and stuff.
Sounds and physics and particle
effects. Pretty much everything then. Why don't we just start again? Start with a whole new loco.
Well, this is it. I mean, this is kind of what I want to see in train sim. Stuff like this where you can take it and play around with it rather than having to go for an end-to-end type thing.
Well, we're just heading down towards number 1 dock. We're going to go steaming past some of the coal hoists.
I just love how dinky it is.
It is a fun little loco. So this is the site of Barry Scrapyard. Eventually it was an inland lake before they reclaimed it. Oh, it's got the old connecting rod couple of noises, you know, where it's like it just sounds horrible.
Washing machine noises.
Yeah, exactly. Just some sound updates and just give old locos like this a bit of an overhaul.
Yeah.
We're at
a reskin pack, a sound pack, and a particles effect pack, and that loco would be almost as good as some of the more modern stuff.
Exactly. So we're on the dockside now. Some ships alongside the coal hoists. the whistle is a bit meh as well.
Yep.
It is interesting seeing it from the point of view as, you know, sitting in the cab. All these big ships at the coal hoists gives a very industrial feel.
Yeah, it does give a different perspective in the cab view, doesn't it? The world looks a lot from the cab.
It does. Nathan is saying I should have taken the 060 dock shunter. Which one would be the Caledonian one? What I love about this dockyard is you really do get a sense of scale when you're driving along. Because this place is massive.
Oh yeah, you can tell just looking at the route map how huge it is.
Just the dock was, I mean at one point it was honestly the biggest dock in the world.
Yeah.
It was more coal exported from Barry than any other port pretty much in the world. And I think it was just after the end of World War I when it all kind of went horribly wrong. And
that's right.
Yeah, coal production just steadily declined then. There's the Barry Town Hall. What's going on with Discord? I think Sam either left or joined or something. Sam, what's going on? Are you there? Hang on, I'm gonna have to go and see what's going on. Sam? Oh no, it's my Discord is deciding to play up. So, Sam, I don't know if you can hear me through the stream or if you can hear me through Discord. It seems that Discord is being a knob. I think that's pretty much it for number 1 dock on the north side. Oh god. So pretty much the tracks now head up to the main line. So we'll go have a look at number 2 dock. I don't know what that ship is doing there. But yeah, this is oh, did I miss the turn? Oh, I could have just gone and had a look at number 2 dock. Never mind. So this is number 2 dock, more coal hoists there. Then the south side was where they import bananas. Geest used to run a lot of ships there. Oh look, there's a warship here. Looks like a World War I era thunderclad. What's it? Ironclad, by the look of it. Number 31 berth. I believe that's scrap metal now. Oh, Discord is being a twat. Hang on. Yay, Discord is being a dick. Right, so we'll go back and we'll jump in the 2800. And this will be a laugh. So we're just going to go have a look at the south side of number 1 dock and then we'll take the 2800 down to the Pier Head. To the end of the breakwater. So nothing bad has ever happened while trying to take a 2800 round very sharp corners in a dock. There you go, we're all set for all the way. Yeah, Nathan, it looks like number 1 dock could do with a little bit more detail. Mark says, Discord looks to be down. I guess that's a worldwide thing, because I don't know what's going on. I'm assuming that Discord has just completely died worldwide. It does seem that Discord does break down quite regularly, so Sam, sorry about this. If you're trying to get back on, I guess it's not going to let you. Gonna save before we go around some pretty sharp corners. By the way, in real life you would never see a 2800 going round sharp corners like this, so I'm sure we're gonna see the Loco go flying at some point. Better slow down. Ooh, that's sharp. Oh my god. Okay, well that's an interesting turn of events. So I know Locos were broken up here, but that's an interesting thing that's gone on here. I brought it to a stop just so that we could witness the wonder that is Train Simulator at its finest. Looks like a VW cast destroyer. Oh, okay. I think we will have destroyed some track by the time we get down to number 1 dock. Your 2800 tender has stopped working. Would you like to save a diagnostic file? So this is part of what would eventually become Barry Scrapyard. So taking a 2800 down here isn't actually unrealistic if you think about it, because there was many 2800s were scrapped here or sent for scrapping here. So these were the lines that they would have been stored on. So it's not completely unrealistic to take a 2800 here. Maybe in Steam it is, but yeah. Basically just how I want to end the live stream, is showing the 2800 off the end of the breakwater. Oh, look at that tender. Super elevation on that tender. It's almost like a motorbike leaning into the turn, because it's going around the turn so fast that it has to lean into the turn. There we go. So this is the south side of number 1 dock. They're building lots of houses here, and that's the mole in the middle. We used to have lots of tanks because it was a whale oil farm. So these ships used to bring in whale oil. So there's some more coal hoists. Let's give you some lamps. Then we need tender lamp code as well. There we go. There's 2800 going past the motor vessel Cyclops. And for those of you in the Facebook group, that's you know why it's called the Cyclops. Well, that's quite a nice shot, the 2800 coming towards you. About to run over your camera. Streamlance is asking, will I go back to having the Over the Hills song as the intro or use something else? No, because that song is copyrighted. I was never actually allowed to use it in the first place. Chances are for the new series we're either going to get custom made music or we're going to get some new royalty free music, but we'll see. That is a detail which has yet to be worked out. Right, please don't derail on these corners now. I'm trying to keep the speed down. Not much longer left of the live stream, guys. Maybe another 5 minutes. I just want to get the 2800 down the breakwater so that we can have a final parting shot. I think it's a pretty epic way to end the live stream on Pier Head or breakwater. I'm genuinely going to try and look for where this tunnel is because I don't remember seeing it. Will there be a 2800 in the new Over the Hills? Yes, there will. I don't know in what context yet, but we will figure one out. This has got to be something that these people weren't expecting. They're down Barry Docks. Suddenly, a large 2800 appears. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this live stream. There's the tender falling over again. Probably should mention this is a work in progress version of the 2800. So it's not the final product. Well, that's a gradient there. This is an American flag as well. I love it. God bless America. Barry. Hey look, there's people on the beach. There's a guy taking his donkey for a swim. This is, we had a little question asked in one of the Discord servers, is what's the weirdest thing seen in Train Sim? Well, me taking a 2800 down the breakwater and a guy taking his donkey for a swim. That is a screenshot and a half. That is not something I ever thought I'd see in Train Sim. Oh, goodness me. The 2800 is going for a swim now. Now that is a very unfortunate position to keep the camera. That was not intentional, I can assure you. I'm assuming that this track would have been laid just for when they were constructing the breakwater. You'd have had wagons with tipping stones out the end. Yeah, Nathan says it's the episode from Ivor the Engine where Ivor wanted to go swimming. But instead of Ivor, we've got a 2800 that wants to go swimming. Oh, wow. I remembered I put the grounded cargo ship. Might have to add some faces to that. Let's bring her to a stop right there. And there you are. That is our parting shot almost set up. not something that we expected to see this evening. Grounded cargo ship and Great Western 2800. Could probably take it forward a little bit more. Let's take the brakes off. What locos would have used the breakwater line? I think it probably would have just been little shunting locos, just something to push wagons of rocks back and forth. It's not really like a proper railway line. I think it was more laid just for dumping rocks. You know, it never would have been properly used. Although I'll have to look at some more pictures or see if there's any history about it. There we go, right at the end. Literally cannot go any further. There we go, chaps. And that is Barry Docks. But of course, being an Angry Welshman Productions live stream, there's no way I can leave it like that, is there? There's no way I could. Well, that didn't work. Brakes. Now, I want to see if we can actually hit the grounded ship with our 2800. Do you think I can do it? Thoughts on a postcard? Let's see what happens. Here we go. Here we go. Duff. Well, that was an interesting turn of events. That's not some... Well, alrighty then. That's definitely not something I expected to see. And that was it, ladies and gents. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. We have seen the Barry Railway, and we have been driving the Great Western Railway 2800, which is coming soon from Steam Sound Supreme and Caledonia Works. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been quite fun, and it's been very pleasant to drive some South Wales stuff for a change. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next live stream, which I think is going to be the Jones Goods. I'm not sure if it's going to be the Penalty Valley Railway or if it'll be something else. I think it's probably going to be the Speyside line. We'll probably clear some snow. Bye, everybody.